Let's turn to the Republicans now. The new team of Donald Trump and Mike Pence are kicking off their first week of campaigning as the official GOP nominees, with Trump taking to the airwaves and Twitter to taunt the DNC and his old opponent, Ted Cruz. ABC's Tom Yamas is live at Trump Tower in New York. Good morning, Tom.
George, good morning to you. It's a busy week for Democrats, but it's also a busy week for Donald Trump and Governor Pence. They're hitting several battleground states, including Florida, North Carolina, and Ohio. As the Democrats gear up for their convention, Donald Trump is already trying to steal the spotlight. Days later, still bragging about his convention and his big speech.
The only thing that some people said, it was a little dark, it was a little bit tough.
Did you think it was a little dark?
No, I thought it was very optimistic.
Okay.
To me, it was an optimistic speech because...
What makes it optimistic in your view?
Because we're going to solve the problems. We're going to solve the problems. In other words, sure, I talk about the problems, but we're going to solve the problems.
And for the, quote, haters who said the 75-minute speech was too long, Trump tweeting out this video with an applause-o-meter, claiming 24 minutes, or 1/3 of the speech, was pure cheering.
Vote your conscience, vote for candidates up and down the ticket.
Trump also not ready to let go of Senator Cruz's cannonball of a speech where he did not endorse him. Cruz eventually getting booed off the stage. Trump said he entered the hall at that moment to save Cruz.
I'll tell you what, I did him a favor, because had I not walked into the arena at that moment, I think they would have ripped him off the stage.
Now, Donald Trump says he is going to move forward by funding super PACs against Senator Ted Cruz and also Governor John Kasich, the Ohio governor, who boycotted his convention. Robin?
All right, Tom, thank you. We're going to bring in our political analyst, Matt Dowd. I want to talk about the Republicans, but first of all, you called this on Saturday. You sent out a tweet saying that Hillary Clinton should fire the DNC chair, replace her with Donna Brazile. That did happen. You said it's a smart pick, but is the convention starting under a cloud, Matt?
And I don't know if the Phillies are going to be in the World Series, so I don't know about that pick yet. I think it's a very smart pick. I have worked with Donna Brazile in the 1980s in campaigns, and I've worked against Donna Brazile. We worked on the opposite side in Bush versus Gore in the course of this. I think many Republicans are going to regret what they wish for, because I think Donna Brazile, as head of the DNC, is going to put together a whole different kind of discipline at the DNC, entirely different kind of campaign, very grassroots oriented. I think it's a really smart pick.
And about Hillary Clinton this week, what does she need to do?
Well, as we talked about, as you talked about earlier, Donald Trump got a bump, which wasn't unexpected. He occupied the landscape all of last week. I think they are very aware that they need to have a consistent message throughout this. They need to be both understand people's fears, but lift people to a more aspirational, hopeful place, which didn't happen at the Republican convention. If they can thread that needle, I think they have a very successful convention.
And tonight, Bernie Sanders.
Tonight, Bernie Sanders. And that's a big speech, because I think there's still a lot of Bernie Sanders voters out there who are wondering whether or not Hillary Clinton is their person. They wonder about the Tim Kaine pick. And of course, in this series of email problem with the hacked emails in the course of this, I think there's frustration on their part. So I think his speech, embracing Hillary Clinton in a full-throated way, I think is very important.
Let's talk Trump and Pence now, because as we've been talking about, they've gotten this bounce from the convention last week, and they're together this week for the first time. Different people, I think it's safe to say. How do you think it's going so far?
Well, I think there's just an awkwardness to it. And I think Donald Trump has a difficulty having anybody else standing next to him or being front and center. He's a person that constantly wants himself. Even in the announcement of Governor Pence, he sort of had Governor Pence in the background. And I was struck by the difference between what Hillary Clinton did with Tim Kaine, which was she actually stood in the background while he gave his speech, which I thought was a much more seamless announcement in the course of this. I think they'll work it out, but my guess is Donald Trump and Mike Pence won't be campaigning together a lot.
All right, Matt. Thank you very much. And that's nice about the Phillies, but give us the lottery numbers. That's what I want to know if you can.
After the show.
If you can see that in the future. Thank you, Matt.